The demon from the skyscrapers may have shown his hand just a bit too much. Hola everyone, and welcome to the House of Ippo. Chapter 1328 is here. It's been translated, and it's time to dive into it. Now, I'm going to be honest. I have been reading up on the rules of Mahjong, and they still make zero sense to me. It's really, really weird. There's like a north, a south, an east, a west. Like, they kind of go counterclockwise. There's a thing called a Mahjong, a tenpai. I have no idea what any of these words mean, even when I look them up. But I do know that you can win and lose at this game, and that's the most important part. So, chapter 1328 is titled, Can't You Feel the Wind? We start with Yagi exaggeratingly cutting the west, and I believe that means he's doing something with Mahjong. Keith responds with a hard hit from the first move. What is this spirit, this energy? I thought that he was just sitting here to make up the numbers. But this guy, Yami, is the real deal, showing that there is some talent and some luck behind Yagi. And we kind of see Yagi's mental prowess saying, it's blowing. The wind pushes against my back. It is time. And without a second to lose, without a moment to spare, we are in tenpai. Again, I have zero idea what some of these terms mean, so figure it out yourself. Yagi thinks to himself, but I want to ask the young boys of the world, don't you feel the wind? Don't you feel this luck? And what a surprise. Yagi cut white and broke the tenpai. Yuna thinks, that's ridiculous. This is a crazy move. Hands are flying all over the board. And Yagi responds with, small, but it's not an expected value. It's about the digital. It's about the logic. You can't win this game with just luck. And Ippo's starting to see these hands move fast. It's looking cool. It's sounding legendary. Keith is thinking the sound of the tiles going down. But the lower it goes, the more oppressive it becomes. The silence. This is the silence, the quiet. Before a storm hits and rages against us. And the owner says, that is genuine. A 9 lotus pontoons. Apparently I can't speak. Yagi says, now let's celebrate with my own hand. And Yagi cut off the unnecessary noise. After that moment, another miracle has happened. With Keith shouting, run, Kokushimushu. Kokushimu. Whatever. It's a word, for sure. Everybody is shocked, and Keith laughs out loud. That's 32,000 points. Thanks. He caught a lot of points with just his left hand. And Ippo kind of sees this, and he exclaims. He's thinking to himself, that's really, really weird and really interesting. I mean, there's a reason for that. And we finally cut to a different scene with Ippo going, after all, you have been banned. And Yagi goes, well, there's no harvest. It's what a darn shame I didn't get any money off of it. And Ippo says to himself, no, I think there was a harvest. There is a habit you can't hide when you are in a high state of mind, when you are just going with the flow and figuring everything out. It's acting on the spur of the moment. And that is, Keith Dragon is actually left-handed. He genuinely overplayed his hand. He got so excited for what was about to happen. He potentially showed this greatness of using his left hand instead of his right. And if you take a look back at his other fights and what he's been booked as, we've been told that he is an orthodox fighter, which is really kind of unique if you ask me. We're getting to see another Randy Boy situation or something even more terrifying. This is a fighter who has taught themselves orthodox style to lead with their strong arm instead of their weak. There's a lot of good things that can come from that. It can lay a trap where your front arm is a lot more powerful than the back, so your jabs hit a lot harder and they can go forward. Or we're going to see him do a pinch hitting kind of thing where he starts in a standard style, with his left foot up front, his left arm leading, his right arm in the back, and then suddenly switching to the southpaw style, something that Takamura might not have been training against. That's really kind of cool that we get to see this really intense state of mind come from Ippo. He's really noticing. So Ippo's really convinced about this. He looks at all of the VCRs with Keith yet again. And in the middle, he gets a phone call. And it was an unexpected call from an unexpected person. Turns out it's Takamura. And Ippo says, it was just right. I was just about to call you and tell you. It's unusual. I was a little... No, I was quite surprised. And Takamura says, Well, what are you talking about? What's going on? And Ippo goes, Takamura-san, I'm asking for a favor from the gods. There will not be a chapter next week, but let's really dive into what being broken down. We're seeing that Ippo is developing his ability to observe a opponent, really see how to notice weaknesses within the people that are going to be fighting. And this is going to be extraordinarily important as we move forward with the story. As Ippo comes out of retirement, as we all hope, he's going to genuinely need to understand the basics of boxing, how to observe, and really break down opponent from the fundamental level. Now, we've seen him kind of do this before in the story. He'd sit there and watch tapes until they basically bled through. He did this for the Miyata fight, or when he thought he was going to fight Miyata. He's done this quite a few times, but he's now starting to notice things about an opponent's behavior outside of the ring, really starting to observe and learn how they do what they do when they do what they can. And to me, that's really something that needs to be passed on to a better generation, and more learning with Ippo. He'll be able to teach his kohai, his students, how to observe and learn, but pairing with that, once he comes back to the ring, this ability to break down an opponent, just noticing very simple things, in handy, and it shows the experience, much like Date had when he came back to the ring and finally challenged Ricardo. So I think we're going to start to see some mirrors to what Ippo is going to do with what Date has done in the past, and I'm really, really excited for that. Let me know what you thought of this chapter down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Hajime no Ippo related content. And for everyone new and old, welcome and welcome back. It's your boy Lohuli, and I will see you next video.